Hi, I'm Joseph Phillips. I'm the Director of Education at Instructing.com, where I teach project management. Have you ever heard the phrase that time is money? Well, if you're in project management, chances are you have. But in project management, we think about time being separate from money. So when we talk about time, we're thinking about how long to get to the end of the project, because projects are temporary. We think about money, we're thinking about how much will this cost. But what we're buying often in project management is labor, the effort, the energy of the professionals on our team to complete the activities to create the product. So time is money is somewhat true in project management. We know that it's people doing the work. So we're talking about activities. With activities, we have different levels of skills that are needed. And associated with those skills is a dollar amount. Now, in some organizations, your project doesn't directly pay the salaries or the expense of the people on your team. But that doesn't mean that their time is free. The organization counts their salaries as part of the cost of doing business. But we still need to be good stewards of our time and our team members' time and of the monies in the project. Now, when we talk about time and cost associated with time, we also have to talk about the effort in the project activities. First off, we have the level of effort, the LOE. These are support activities that you do as a project manager, or you might have a team lead does, like reporting, budgeting, and planning. And then we have discrete effort activities. That's what most of us think about when we're assigning tasks to our project team. That's discrete effort. It's effort going directly into creating the product of the project, the actual activities. And then finally, as the project manager, you have the apportioned effort. And this is your project management work, the things that you do in your role as a project manager. It's somewhat considered overhead to have the project exist, that someone has to do the planning and lead the way and host the meetings and communicate. And that's you, the project manager. Within our project, with the different activities, we have to consider the dependency determination. So in what order do the activities happen? Are they allowed to happen? Well, there are two types of dependencies that we always look at. We have mandatory dependencies and discretionary dependencies. Mandatory dependencies mean it has to happen in this particular order. You can't install the software until you've configured the laptop. You can't build the house until you have the permits. It has to happen in that order. It's hard logic. Now, discretionary dependencies are soft logic, that it can happen in any order that you want. So for example, we could paint the walls and then put the carpet in. So it's discretionary, it's soft logic. Now, two other types of dependencies you want to consider are internal and external dependencies. External dependencies are pretty easy to see. You're waiting on a vendor. You're waiting for approval from the inspector in the home you're building. Internal dependencies are within your organization. You're waiting on a manager to sign off on something. You're waiting for a stakeholder to give you that information you need. You're waiting for team members to become available. Well, those are types of dependencies, internal and external. Something we always have to consider when it comes to time. Among our activities, we have two terms that you should know, and probably you have done just in your role as a project manager. We have lead and lag. Lead time is we bring activities and sometimes phases closer together and even allow them to overlap a little bit. Lag time is waiting time, where you want to add some space, some buffer between two activities. So a great example here of lag time, you're pushing activities apart, is we're going to paint this huge ballroom at your local conference center. Well, we have to prime the wall first. So we prime the wall and then it has to cure for 24 hours before we can come back and paint the wall. So we have to wait between those two activities 24 hours. So we have a finish to start relationship but the start time is plus 24 hours, that it's lagging, it's moving out further in our schedule. So lag increases overall project duration. Lead time example is we go back to that hotel room and we prime the walls, but this primer, we only have to wait for 2 hours and then we can start painting. Well, it's going to take the team to prime everything. It's going to take them 10 hours to prime this whole huge conference room. So what we do is we have a finish to start relationship with this is priming and this is painting, where ordinarily we would say all of the priming has to be done before the painting can begin. Well, with lead time, we're going to say this is going to start, but at some point, let's say 4 hours into the activity, we can begin painting what's already been primed. So the activities kind of chase each other until priming is done and then painting is done. So they overlap. So that's lead and lag. When it comes to creating your schedule and worrying about cost, we always have to think about the cost of labor, but also the cost of the project, because the longer a project lasts, the more expensive it's going to become. All right, great job. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in future videos. In the meantime, keep moving forward.